Hello and welcome to the main track at day 2 of SodaCon 2021. Please remember we have parallel tracks running for the Japanese and Chinese languages. The Japanese track is on AirMeet. The Chinese track is on Zoom. Please check out the links. With this now, the next session is on Unified Hybrid Data Archival Framework. And we have with us PN Sainath Mathur, Practice Head, Storage and Peripherals, ER&D at Wipro. Over to you, Sai.
Thanks, Amit. I'll share my screen. I think it takes time to load.
Right.
Okay, while it's coming up, did it? Not yet, right?
No, Sai.
Yeah, it should have now. Now it's come up, right?
It's up.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Um, so this is about uh, the talk that I would be briefly covering is upon a framework that we are working on developing as part of SODA. It is to have a way to archive and retrieve data to and from different storages to various cost-effective archival systems. So that's the talk on. So the use case is fundamentally, we wanted to minimize the average time data resides in a high-cost storage before being moved into an archival system. So it would have multiple derived benefits as well, like data preservation, addressing regulatory requirements, and reducing recovery time on primary storage, as the overall data itself would have got reduced because of upfront archival and stuff like that. So the thought process is to develop the framework within SODA to have a policy-based data movement to an archival system, saving the space on primary storage, be it on-premise, cloud, or edge. It should cover end-to-end. That's the idea. Moving on to the background. So basically, there has been a constant effort to reduce storage costs, improve upon the amount of data that can be stored and accessed easily, and uh, uh, and have more and more efficient storage serve our needs. Uh, while this is happening, there is a parallel effort to reduce the amount of space we occupy in high cost, low latency storage, like auto tiering, data dedo uh, at different levels are some of the methods being used, uh, and we are constantly evolving on these techniques to do better and have more efficiencies in the way storage space is utilized. Data archiving is another practice wherein data that is no longer being used or needed is moved to a separate storage device. The key would be on how fast we can decide that the data can be archived and have a way to set policies around it. This is what would help us maximize the amount of space saving that we can have on high cost storage. Coming to the approach, what we are thinking of. Um, so, so a lot of data resides in the primary storage before it gets archived. Um, so, for retention purposes. So the thought here is to move the data upfront or wherever we are aware of that this data is not going to be used with a lot of edge devices and a whole lot of ecosystem that's generating data today. We would have a lot of data that would be more required for retention purposes than for any analytics or other reasons. So there's parallel effort anyway going on in segregating the data on what is needed for analytics and other AI/ML related analysis purposes versus what is to be retained for regulatory requirements and other reasons. So having known, I mean, once we know that, it becomes a simple aspect of moving all that data directly to an archival system than having to preserve, have it on our high cost storage. So that's the idea behind it, on how we are going to achieve it and what we have to do. Uh, uh, so the aspect is that we aim to have an integrated solution with Soda that would enable movement of data to and from the archival systems like tape libraries. We would develop a framework that would seamlessly work with Soda and capitalize on existing open source solutions wherever available. Also, be able to move data from any source like edge or primary or secondary or cloud. As a next step, we would also want to uh, use some AI/ML techniques to automate some of these processes, which to begin with would have to be based on inputs that we get from uh, the users of that data. And the last part I had was on an high level structure on how we are going to achieve it, um, wherein we want to update our existing services that are already available in Soda, like our policy definitions that we have to create an interface for it, or use the existing interface to add additional policies which can take care of these uh, uh, data archival requirements. Then access to the metadata for dealing with retrieval when needed, and have some kind of SLAs built around it on how much time it could take to get back something that we need when there is a need. And implementation of interface modules to existing multi-cloud related implementations that we have. Um, and also that Soda installer will have to be updated to take care of having all the prerequisites met. So these are some high-level thoughts we had at this stage, and we are definitely open to taking inputs from all of you to make it more usable and efficient, and eventually help our customers save uh, storage space and eventually cost, time, etc. So this is what I had as part of my talk. If there are any questions, we can take it.
Thank you, Sai. Thank you. I believe there are a couple of questions. One which is there on screen right now. Let me just bring it on stage. So Praveen asks, there may be some existing solution for unified data archival. Then why a new project here?
Yeah, good question. In fact, we also thought through on this, and a lot of solutions do exist. In fact, I have browsed through multiple of them. One is we wanted to have it as part of the open source ecosystem in Soda that we are building up. And at the first level, we are thinking of a framework than implementing detailed solutions. And we would like to definitely use the existing solutions already available uh, wherever it makes sense. And it also depends on what those solutions are and how open they are to be part of open source. Probably we'll have to, yeah, dwell into it, and we'll definitely do that as part of the program as we go forward.
All
I
right, so
hope.
there's one more question. It says, cost optimization is based only on the storage class, or are you considering any other parameters?
Um, Definitely storage class would be on the top. The other derived benefits, like I was saying, right? So when if something happens on the primary storage, the amount of time it takes to recover would also depend on the amount. So if we are able to reduce the data there by moving data into some archival systems where it is not really actively needed, obviously we are saving some cost even there. So I see a lot of derived, but our primary intention of doing all this was to not burden our storage when it is not necessary to do so, and have a seamless framework to do that. maybe solutions are already there. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, I believe that would have taken care of the question. Now, we have one final question, and this one I got it from an offline source, and it says, does Soda plan to reuse some of the existing solutions that we have?
Absolutely. We would be very much interested to know, and we would like to see what those solutions are and how we can really utilize them. No point in reinventing the wheel. I fully agree on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that has been a common constant thought process, I believe, across the board in most of the sessions. That's the advantage of open source as well, that you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel for every new technology. You can just build on existing ones.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe with that, we have actually covered quite a bit. And thank you so much, Sai, for this incisive thought on unified hybrid data models. And then we will now move on to the next session, and that is going to be the ODF for cloud native container storage. Is it important? So
Thank you.
we will be connecting there shortly. Please attend the next session, and we're going to end this one here right now. Thank you, Sai.
Thanks, Sam.